currently 4 p.m. Whoops. Alright, here's a quick little tour of my apartment for September. I'm only living here for September. I'll be in a new place in October. But we got a bathroom, a nice cute little hallway with some storage for shoes and coats and things like that. First thing on the right, other than the bathroom when you walk in, is our kitchen, which is a really good size. On the left is my roommate's room. I didn't show that for privacy's sake, but we got a nice full-length mirror for some OOTDs. And then the room that I am staying in, which has these awesome windows. I fucking love German windows. I really wish we had these in the United States, but I'm pretty sure they're a safety hazard for kids because there isn't a screen on them. But whatever. I love them because you can have them completely closed. You can turn the lever in the middle and open it all the way up like a door, or you can turn the lever all the way up and open it just a little bit to get some air ventilation in there. One thing that I also really love about this apartment and these windows is the blackout curtains on them. On the side, there are a couple of buttons that I can push to make them go up and down. And when the curtains get all the way to the bottom, they completely shut and it's completely black in the room. And I'm pretty sure that's why I slept until 4. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have some very exciting news to share with you. I moved to Germany. This has been kind of a long time coming. So when I was a senior in undergrad, I applied for the Fulbright program to teach English as an English teaching assistant in Germany. And I originally applied to teach in the 2020-2021 school year, but COVID had other plans. We all know how that went. So I could not travel to Germany last year. And so my entire program was postponed until this year, and now it is finally happening, which I am super excited about. These last few days have been a process. I have never, other than like going to school and going to college, I have never really lived on my own. I studied abroad in Salzburg, Austria, my sophomore year of college, so when I was 19, but that was only for 4 months, whereas this position that I am here for, I will be here for 10 months. And moving in general is a process, but when you have to move not only across country, but across an ocean to a country that you're not from, it can be kind of stressful. And I speak German. For those of you who don't know, I studied German in college. I've been learning it since I was like a freshman in high school, and that was what I went to school for. Like, I have a teaching license to teach German as a language, and I also have a teaching license to teach English. And this job working with Fulbright is kind of a mix of the both of them, and it's really exciting, and that's why I'm so excited, because it brings two of my passions, German and English, learning languages, all of that. It brings it together, and it gives me an opportunity to travel, explore more of the country, and meet some amazing people. There's a lot that you have to do bureaucratic wise in terms of like visa requirements and setting up a bank account and finding an apartment and things like that. So when I was preparing to move here, it really felt like it was going to be just a nosedive into adulthood. As soon as I would get here, it's like, all right, jump in, here we go, figure out how to be an adult. on your own. And that's something that I was super excited for, but it is something that I think a lot of people don't talk about a whole lot, is like the actual stress that comes with being on your own as a young adult, especially if you grew up maybe in not the most healthy environment when you were a child, because your parents, their job basically is to take care of you and to teach you how to take care of yourself and to help raise you and help you function on your own as a human being. So a lot of your young adult years, 18, 20 to 25, those years are really where a lot of growth happens and where a lot of change happens, because you are learning how to take care of yourself. I've spent the last several years, really learning more about myself and allowing myself to explore my identity. In the past, I have said, I know who I am and I know what I want, but the thing is I'm changing so much, and even if I say, yes, I know who I am, I know what I want, that is really limited to only this moment. I'm still exploring, I'm still learning, and I'm still changing. And with moving to Germany, that's one thing that I am so extremely excited for, is to be able to continue exploring my identity in a place where nobody really knows who I am. It allows me, at least mentally, to feel free and to feel like I have this space to express myself. For the last several months, but really throughout my entire life, it's been difficult for me to outwardly express myself. When I'm by myself or just in my room doing my own thing, it's a bit easier because I'm by myself. But as I was growing up, I was a quiet kid. I was kind of raised to be that way. And throughout the last couple of years, especially with being at home, I have had the time to look back on my life and realize maybe why I was raised that way or how I was raised to be that way. This past year, I've been shining a light on a lot of my shadows. I have been taking a look at some of the important experiences in my life and thinking about how they have affected me, and realizing the ways that I interact with people now are a result and an effect of the way that I have interacted or was taught to interact with people when I was younger. I am really excited about that, but it is also kind of scary. And it definitely is a challenge, shining a light on all of your shadows, and it's really important to not allow yourself to stay in those shadows. They'll always be there, but now that I've kind of shined a light on a lot of them, I know that they're there, and I can slowly work through them and process them when I am in the right space to be doing so. When I travel, I really realize how important it is for me to know how to take care of myself and to be responsible for my overall well-being, because I really realized that some of my coping mechanisms or instincts when it comes to taking care of myself when I travel to unfamiliar places are not healthy. I call them coping mechanisms because they kind of are coping mechanisms. So this upcoming week I have a free week. I don't have anything that I have to do for my school, at least not throughout the whole week. And so my goal for this week is to really be intentional about taking care of myself and being really intentional about making sure that I am setting up a routine and habits that really allow me to be the most authentic version of myself and allow me to be in a space where I feel comfortable being the most authentic version of myself. It's one thing to be able to express myself in English and to be able to express myself authentically, but when you have to do it in a second or a third or a fourth, whatever language it is for you, when you have to do it in another language that is not the language you grew up speaking, it can be kind of difficult and it can be extremely frustrating. it's extremely frustrating for me because intellectually in English, I could talk circles around a lot of people, but in German, it's really hard for me to communicate those same thoughts in that language. And so that can be extremely frustrating for me because when I want to talk to someone or when I meet someone, I really want to get to know them better. It's hard for me to communicate some of the same things that I would want to in German. And that's something that I am excited to get better at. That was one of the main reasons why I really wanted to do this program and why I wanted to move to Germany, because in the United States, not a lot of people around me are speaking German. Not a lot of people in my area or my community speak German, so it's not something that I frequently get to do. And so if you don't really use your language skills that you learn as you are growing up, or when you do decide to learn a language, if you don't use that language, it's going to be harder for your brain to retain it over a longer period of time. When I was in college, I could literally feel my language capabilities just slowly plateauing, flattening out on a line, and at times even going down because I just wasn't using it as often, or I wasn't being able to practice my speaking. I wasn't able to, here's where I'm a language teacher, give them all the hand gestures. It's hard to find people to communicate with and to practice, speaking and having the actual conversations. It's very different learning how to read and write, and then being in an environment where you have to communicate through only speaking and listening. So that is something that I really wanted to improve and get better at. So what better way to do it than to move where everybody speaks it? And that is really exciting for me. It's both a source of my anxiety, because like I said, it's frustrating when I can't communicate my thoughts the way that I have them, but it's also a really good way for me to practice patience, but to also motivate me to continue learning and to continue getting better with my language skills. Being able to communicate with other human beings and having human interaction is extremely important to me. Like I said, I grew up not always knowing how to express myself outwardly because I didn't always feel safe being able to express myself outwardly, even to my family and friends. And that has really led to me choosing not to share my thoughts and choosing not to express myself. And it hasn't always been a conscious choice. Sometimes I'll be sitting in a room or hearing a conversation that I could be participating in, but I don't, because I was raised to be the quiet girl. I was raised that way. That's how my environment raised me to be. That's what I was told as a kid. That's what I was treated like as a kid. And now that I am a little bit older, I'm still learning a lot about myself. And one thing that I've really learned about myself or my soul or me as a being on this planet is I'm not a quiet spirit. I have a lot that I would like to share with the world. And especially in kind of the time we are in with cancel culture and, people being really afraid to share their thoughts and their opinions on the internet especially, it can be really difficult to feel comfortable sharing your thoughts and opinions in a space like this. I haven't posted on YouTube in a while. I haven't really been on TikTok posting anything. I haven't made a podcast in a while. I just haven't been on social media, period, because of that exactly. This fear of not being my authentic self in what I create. One thing I would like to do over these next 10 months is try to get better about continuing to vlog and continuing to make content, whether it's a podcast or a YouTube video or whatever. I have some projects that I've been working on that I am excited to share when they are ready. But throughout these next 10 months, I really would like my intention to be to focus on expressing myself outwardly and expressing myself to the world around me. Whether that is through writing or recording thoughts, making videos, I want to get better at that. I also hope to be more consistent with journaling. When I lived in Salzburg, it was really helpful for me to journal every single day. And it wasn't ever anything super meaningful or deep, but it was simply just me either writing about what was on my mind if I was stressful. For me, mental health, journaling is a really good way for me to maintain my mental health, because if I'm ever anxious about something, I'll just write out why I'm anxious about it, and then it kind of helps relieve some of that stress and that anxiety. But I also would journal just about what I did that day. Literally just, okay, I woke up, I went to this place, I went here with these people, I did that with those people. That was it. But it's something that's really nice to look back on and also remember what happened what day. And so I hope to kind of keep that routine when I'm here now in Freiburg. I would love to tell you all, I'm going to be posting a new video on this date, or I'm going to be recording a podcast that'll be up at this time. But the thing is if I put those kinds of deadlines on myself, I know that they won't get met. I know for some people putting deadlines on projects and stuff helps them. For me, it's the other way around. I tell myself, bet we can get it done later. And so self-sabotage and procrastination sometimes sinks in, and that's something that I'm also working on and hope to get better at this year. But I know that I do that to myself. So being aware of that and learning now how to help myself when I'm in those situations is going to be something that's super important to me. Cheers to that. I don't know. Do you relate? How have you been feeling about social media recently? I know and knew when I applied for this program that this would be an amazing adventure for me and a life-changing adventure for me, and that I would learn so much, not only about myself, but about the world and my place in it. And I want to document that. I want to be able to look back on this, and I want to remember these moments. But I want to remember the highs and the lows. I want to remember how fucking stressful it was to find the right bus stop at the Hauptbahnhof today. I want to remember how stressful that was because it really made me mad. But I also want to remember how grateful I was for that experience, because it allowed me to learn a lot about the area that I was in, which is a really important area that I'll have to be going to a lot. Because even if right now it is stressful and I have had a lot of anxiety and I am, feel like I'm swimming in the deep end, I want to remember that. I want to look back on it, because even though right now this feels like one of the most amazing opportunities in my life, at one point this wasn't even an idea for me. So to know that there are probably experiences that I have yet to live, that I have absolutely no idea of, is really cool. And that is honestly what keeps me going every day, is knowing that at one point I didn't think this was possible, or I didn't know this was possible, and now here I am living it. I'm very grateful to be here. Time for a grocery haul. Okay. The first thing I wanted to get some flowers for my roommate. Just some beautiful yellow flowers. I got some salad mix just because it's super easy, super quick, super simple. I got some mini cucumbers because I figured I could chop some up, eat them on their own, put them in a salad. Love them. Let's see. I got a thing of sliced bread. I am one person, so I can't eat a whole lot of bread, like a whole loaf on my own very quickly, so I wanted to get a smaller size, so that was perfect. Wow, hello. Right, Then I got some strawberries, got some raspberries, all the goods. Let's see. Got some bananas, apples. You can kind of see them there. And what's not? Got some peppers, same thing, just chop them up, throw them in a salad. I also got some rice, so I'm gonna hopefully do like a veggie stir fry kind of thing at some point. Let's see, I got some chocolate muesli, which is kind of just like a granola cereal. And then I also got some almond milk. Gotta love almond milk. And then we got some apple juice. I got a couple of different smoothies. I got red number 7 and then a strawberry banana. I really like fruit smoothies, and I figured that might be just a quick grab and go thing. I got some strawberry raspberry tea. If you're sensing a theme, I like strawberries and raspberries. And then I got a couple things of yogurt. I'm gonna hopefully put some of the strawberries, raspberries, and the banana, mix it in there, make a good little breakfast, maybe throw some muesli in there. And then I wanted to try one of these like on the go quick coffees. So I got one of those. And finally, if you have ever been to Germany, you know that they don't really do peanut butter over here. You know, their thing is Nutella, and peanut butter is a very like American thing. And how fitting that this has an American flag on it. But I found peanut butter. It was definitely in like the quote unquote American section, and it even has like American right here on it. But you know what? As an American, I appreciate this, and it made me very happy. I totally could have lived without it, but I figured, you know what, make this transition a little bit easier, stick to what I'm comfortable with. And once I kind of get a routine down and like meal plan going, I can introduce things that are a little bit more different. But right now, for my sanity, for my mental health, it's important for me to kind of stick to things that I'm familiar with. Good morning. Today's Tuesday. I'm walking back to my apartment because I was about to go get on the bus, but I forgot my mask. So thankfully it's only a couple minute walk, but I wanted to talk about something really important that I was thinking about earlier today when I was doing my morning meditation and yoga. This morning, like initially when I woke up, you know, y'all saw in an earlier clip that the other day I got up at like 4 p.m. Yesterday it was around like 1 p.m. and this morning was a lot better. We showed some progress. It was 11 a.m. But as I was like tossing and turning in bed this morning, I had originally set an alarm for like 9:30, and as I was tossing and turning, I started to notice some thoughts that were popping into my head that I later observed a little bit more in depth and spent a little more time with while I was meditating. And those are the thoughts that I want to talk with you about. Okay, I grabbed my mask, waiting for the bus. We are good to go. But the thoughts that I wanted to talk about or share with you all this morning when I was, you know, tossing and turning in bed, it was like 9:30 a.m., which is when I had my alarm set for because I wanted to try and get up earlier today. But my initial thoughts I noticed when I was waking up were, I should be up, I need to be doing something, my roommate's probably up, I should be out there socializing with her, I should be up and being productive and like starting my day. I had planned to start my day at 9:30. And so I noticed that these thoughts were coming into my head, and I noticed that they were making me feel kind of guilty, like I should get out of bed, but I just wasn't ready to. I was so tired. Once I kind of took note and noticed that these thoughts were coming into my mind like right away as soon as I got up, even when I woke up at like 11, I was having these thoughts. And when I started doing my meditation, I really sat down with the intention of, okay, let's sit with these thoughts and let's kind of figure out where they might be coming from. I really realized that these thoughts stem way back from when I was like a little kid, and my parents would always make me feel so guilty and bad for like sleeping in and getting the sleep that I needed. And I'm also going to link a book that I read called Why We Sleep, because that also really helped me process a lot of those negative emotions, such as like shame and guilt that I had from growing up when it comes to like sleeping in and the false correlation with being lazy. Especially coming from the United States, I think a lot of people overhype productivity. You know, on YouTube, you've probably seen like this trend that goes around every now and then, you know, the ebbs and flows of, you know, the 5 a.m. club and getting up super, super early in the morning. And like, don't get me wrong, I completely understand the philosophy behind it. But after I read the book Why We Sleep, it helped me learn more about this thing called like our circadian rhythm and how we all are individuals and we require different amounts of sleep. And I think that it's really unhealthy to put so much pressure on people to be so productive all the time. And so that goes along with my intention for this week. It goes along with my intention for this week of taking care of myself and really getting into a good routine. Good afternoon, y'all. Today is Thursday, September 9th, and boy, do I got a story for you. I had my first day of like orientation today for the school that I'm going to be working at, and hello, bus. Orientation was supposed to start at 8:30 this morning, so I was trying to be responsible. And last night when I was trying to figure out, okay, what bus do I need to take to get there on time, I found a couple different options. In the morning, bus transportation isn't as common, so there aren't as many buses that are running. And so I had found a couple of different options that I could possibly take in order to get there. The thing is there was one option that would get me to the school 45 minutes earlier than I needed to be there. And then there was another option that would get me 20 minutes earlier than I needed to be there. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to sit there for 45 minutes. I mean, I know the Germans are all about Pünktlichkeit and being punctual, but 45 minutes, that's a bit excessive. So I was like, okay, I'll take the bus. I'll get there 20 minutes early. It'll be great. So I go to my bus stop, and I took the wrong bus. The thing is with bus stops here, on one side of the street, the bus will pick up and it'll go that direction. And then on the other side of the street, there's a bus that'll go the other direction. So I was on one side of the street and took a bus. But the thing is the bus I needed to take was on the other side. So I ended up being 10 minutes late when I originally planned to be 20 minutes early. Right, I'm at my apartment now. The thing is like, you'd think, you know, okay, I'm running late. I should try and get there as quick as I can so I can be there at least somewhat on time. And you know, why would the bus be functioning efficiently? Why wouldn't people take their time? Why wouldn't people forget something and have to go back? And it's like, because this morning when I was on a bus, it's like every time the bus stopped, somebody had to buy a train ticket or they had to wait for someone to get on the bus. And it was like the bus itself ended up running behind schedule as well. And it was just a little frustrating. I was sitting there and I was thinking, okay, this is a test. The universe is testing me right now. Like, I kept trying to be positive and optimistic in my head of like, nope, I'm on time, I'm gonna be there, and it's gonna be okay. And I started to have a little bit of an anxiety attack when I walked into this school. And so when I got there, I was like freaking out because I wanted to make a really good first impression. But whatever. It is what it is. I can't change anything about it now. So in the future, all I can really do is double, triple check to make sure I'm at the right bus stop. I thought I would share that with you all because here I was like, yes, I'm gonna be there early. I'm gonna make a great first impression. Nope, the universe decided, no, Amanda, you know what? You're gonna learn a lesson this morning. But the orientation went really well, so I guess that's a good thing. And we have another meeting tomorrow as well. So if I have to be there 45 minutes early, you damn well right, I'm gonna be there 45 minutes early now. All right, y'all, it's Friday morning and I'm 45 minutes early. So I think I'm gonna go get a coffee. And then there's a park nearby my school with a beautiful lake. So maybe I'll go sit over there and meditate for a little bit.
She was in love with a boy, in love with a girl, so in love with the world, so beautiful. She was in love with the night, the way the sun shines. All she needed was love to have to hold, and nobody could make her feel down. She was always smiling from ear to ear, and everybody wondered around, will she ever know the feeling of tears? All she said to them was, live your life just like you're young again. No,
Good morning, y'all. Today is Saturday, and I think I'm going to head to a coffee shop, get some work done this morning, and then I think I'm gonna go for a little hike today, which I'm super excited about. So let's go.
curious kind, to hate she was blind, always love on her mind, just come on me. She couldn't quite figure out what fear's all about, so she put it aside, all night, all day, and everybody talked about her, said there must be something wrong with this girl. All she said to them was, live your life just like you're young again. No,
Y'all, as I'm walking down all of these steps, I'm realizing that I'm gonna have to go the same way back in order to get where I came from. Look at how freaking steep downstairs. Oh my god. Those steps were no fucking joke. Oh my god.
When your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose.
Wow, it is so beautiful. I love nature and I love going for hikes. There's just something about this, the vibe here, the energy, something about it.
All you really need to do is search within.
Okay, I think I am going to end this vlog here. I think I'm gonna go home and watch some YouTube and some Netflix for the night. I was gonna watch Big Brother, but I tried loading it on my app, and guess what? Because of licensing, it's not available in Germany, and that's so sad to me because I really wanted to watch the rest of Big Brother, so my sister's gonna have to keep me updated now. But I will plan to start a new vlog tomorrow, Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. I hope you have a good day.
All you read